All right, let's talk about Dameon Pierce, the guy who has been, lighting up the fantasy football world a little bit. He's someone who I was a big fan of coming out of college. I actually had him as my favorite running back in this draft class, so he's, not been a big surprise to me, but been a big surprise to a lot of people as he was kind of a mid-round pick, but he's come in and been one of the best rookie running backs this season so far. He's played very well. So let's talk about what he's doing so effectively. So we're going to start off with this play. You see the blocking concept on your screen, and one interesting guy to look at, number 98 for the Chargers. It's actually kind of an interesting play because number 9 for the Chargers is going to kind of come rushing in, which it looks like the right tackle for the Texans is going to go over and block number 9, whereas he probably was supposed to help double team 98 first. Like, watch right when this play begins, you see that he kind of pulls over. This allows for disruption right off the bat. If Dameon Pierce loses yards on this play, nobody would blame him because this is a difficult position to be in. Even if you can get around this one tackle, now trying to get through a running lane is going to be difficult. However, watch this shiftiness to sidestep him, but then still get through the running lane and pick up 9 yards on that play. I mean, that's a definitive good play that you're adding value to a football team. I mean, listen, I like to make fun of the running backs matter people a little bit. I'm definitely a believer in offensive line means way more in the running game than a running back does. A running back is not as important as people think it is. That's definitely true. But at the same time, this is a definitive counter argument for what I believe, which is that running backs aren't as important, because this is a super important play. You just turned a loss of 1 into a gain of 9. That'd be a great passing play. So, definitely there are valuable runs to be had. And again, I don't think anyone says running backs don't matter, just that they're not as important. But Dameon Pierce, a guy like him, can show that, again, if you know how to draft and you're smart at drafting running backs, you can get a really good player that can add value in the, on day 2 or day 3 of the draft instead of day 1. This play is going to be another example of a good play by Dameon Pierce. These are all examples of good plays by Dameon Pierce. He's played well. It's going to be a run to the offense's left, and watch what happens. Mills is going to take the snap. He's going to give the ball to Pierce, and you see a running lane for him to get through, but it doesn't seem huge, right? I mean, again, Houston's doing their job blocking. This is solid, but you want to get through this running lane quickly. This is an example of the offensive line gave you a hole, but now you have to maximize what the offensive line gave you. You have to maximize the value that was given to you by the offensive line, and there is a definitive talent to that. Sometimes the offensive line gives you a hole, but the running back isn't good enough to run through it. Well, that doesn't happen too often with Pierce. Watch him be able to sprint through the gap, and he's able to pick up a big gain on that one. So, again, really good stuff from Dameon Pierce. He does the little things well, and that's what kind of has made him be an effective rusher of the football so far, 4 weeks into the season, and it feels like he's only getting better. Heading over to this play now, what's going to happen is it's going to be a pitch to the offense's right. It's kind of a weirdly designed play where you see the Chargers player who have circled in white. He's going to be unblocked here. So watch how when this play begins, you see how, that Chargers player, if he gets over and is able to tackle Pierce, you're not gaining too many yards, but he's the contained guy here. So Pierce says, hey, offensive line and, the players just in general who are blocking for me, doing a good job over the middle, so I'm just going to try to cut up there. That's what he does. Good piece of running, gets to the next level. Good stuff by Pierce. And this is what kind of separates the good running backs from the great running backs, right? Listen, every now and then you're going to get these situations where you get up to the next level and all you have is a safety to beat. But it's hard to get past that because not only do you have to get past the safety, but if you take too much time to get past the safety, someone will tackle you from behind. So yes, it would be awesome if you can just get past the safety, but that's very much easier said than done. But watch Pierce just blow by the safety, and he is going to go all the way for a touchdown right here. So listen, that helps his numbers a little bit, right? That allowed for the great statistical day against the Chargers of 131 yards, on a 9.4 average yards per carry and a touchdown on the day. So that certainly helps, but still, averaging 5.2 yards per carry this season regardless. And also, that's the value in a running back. That's what you want out of a running back. You'll gladly take the guy who is the home run hitter over the guy who gets a lot of singles when it comes to running backs, in my opinion. Because, again, talking about value, a league average running back gains maybe like 1 yard on that play. We'll be generous and say they gained like 9 or 10 yards on that play. But the difference between having the ball at your opponent's or at your own 35-yard line versus having a touchdown, that's a massive swing. That's like a 5-point swing in EPA. That's a huge difference, and that's a ton of value. I mean, quarterbacks won't always get that kind of value in a specific game. So, like, definitely running backs can have a ton of value in a specific game. I mean, I would argue that no player had more value in the Chargers game for the Texans than Dameon Pierce. Going over here now, so now it's going to be a rush to the offenses left, which is towards our right, and watch what happens. Again, Mills is going to get the ball to Pierce. You see a running lane for him to get through, but it's another one of those, someone's going to make a tackle, right? One of those two players is going to make a tackle. Well, amazingly, no. Watch Pierce run by both of them, and it's not until the safety comes up to make the tackle that he finally goes down. So again, he sees the lane, gets through the lane quickly. It's really that simple. It's something that feels like it's not that complex, but trust me, there is an art to it. Some guys are very good at this stuff. Some guys are very much not good at this stuff. A lot of times when these high draft picks that are running backs don't work out, it's because they can't seem to get the vision down. Pierce has the vision down. Going on to this last play here, we're going to talk about our friend number 9 again for the Chargers. This is Kenneth Murray, who, the first play I showed he kind of disrupted things. Seems like he was, blitzing a lot in this one, and, he's going to definitely help disrupt things. Watch him rush in, and the center tries to pick him up. Not really too much he can do, but Pierce was able to just get past him. So, okay, good job by Pierce. But this is what I love about this play. So he sees that blitz came in. He sees where that happened. But now, he's just simply thinking about, well, wait a second. If someone came in and ran by me, well, now there's nobody there. This is kind of a similar mindset to if someone blitzes you and you're a quarterback, you throw to where the blitz is because now there's no defender in that area. Well, it's the same thing, but just in the rushing game. Watch Pierce go straight there, and he's able to, again, pick up a good chunk play. So Pierce just did so much stuff well in this Chargers game. He's, a good player who seems to be just getting better. I didn't talk about the other stuff, but one of the things I loved about Pierce was that he is a true 3-down back. He is someone who can run block well. He is someone who can pass protect, not run block well. He's someone who can pass block well is what I meant to say, and he can run routes well. I bet he could run block well, I guess. I mean, if Mills wants to run a quarterback keeper, perhaps. But yeah, as a whole, I think I've definitely been impressed with what I've seen from Dameon Pierce. I think he is someone who I suspect he will continue to get better. I drafted him in my fantasy football league just so you know how much of a believer in Dameon Pierce I am. We'll see how well it works out the rest of the way, but it should at the very least be very, very fascinating. At least that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Dameon Pierce and how he's played so far into this season? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.